Is anybody taking a shower?
I've already had one. So earlier, about a good while ago, I think Robbie may have already had hers too. I mean, I'll step in there and see. She may have took one just a few minutes ago. Hello, Madison. You hanging in there? Sorry about that. It's irritating the crap out of me too. Sorry. And we get a good walk through this chapter. I got to let everybody else get in here. Hey, Gabby, I'm sorry. This thing's irritating me too. Sorry about that. We lost Madison then. I mean, I don't know why it's kicking her out. There she is. Sorry, man. There we go. It just, I already got an email saying they updated it, but it didn't work. Sorry about that. Sorry about that. Ms. Flavor, sorry about that. Did I get everybody? We had somebody else join us. I think we had 7. And let me give it a second. Then I'll go back and finish that chapter. Sorry about that. Anybody have a question? We're waiting on everybody to come back in. Anybody? It's a pretty simple chapter, I think. I like this one. I don't have a lot of people get too very confused on this. I think the metabolism I'm going to talk a little bit about tomorrow. It's a little more nerve-wracking, I think. All right, let's go back to everybody. I think we got, is that what we have? I think we had one more person. Let's see if somebody else jumps in. I thought we had 7. I'm going to try. Can anybody find the one that we did other night, Sunday night talk? Did it pop up? Or I need to make it pop up? So I'm still kind of winging this. Y'all didn't see it in there. I didn't see it in there. I'm supposed to be able to pop them up in there, so I'll try to do that. All right, let's go. We have one more person. Let's see if we can get them. Okay, let's see. Okay, I'm going to go back to the class. There we go. Everybody cool? Let's go back and finish that chapter. Hang on. There we go. Let me clear some of this out of the way. All right, we're just going to work around this thing. It's just actually taping that other one. All right, let's see. So this is very important here to understand. Everybody cool with this, seeing how this works? This has a dual function, right? I think it's pretty cool. Because it has both an endocrine, remember, making our hormones, and exocrine, making these digestive enzymes. Okay? I'm not real worried about the structure of it. I'm letting these pictures upload. But look, you can see how it puts its juices, which are what? Enzymes to break down everything, plus bicarbonate that helps neutralizes the acid of the stomach coming down. And it comes in this duodenal papillae here, and the common bile duct for the liver also enters the small intestine here. Now this is pretty interesting because the liver makes a compound called bile. Now one of my big pet peeves, and I think this will make a great question for y'all on Thursday, what is bile? Okay, bile is not poo-poo. Bile is the product made by the liver stored in the gallbladder that is green, and it emulsifies fats and breaks it down like Dawn detergent. Helps get grease off your hands when you pat out hamburger patties. So bile is an important chemical that helps us break down fat in the small intestine, made by the liver, stored in the gallbladder, excreted into the duodenum right here at this common bile duct here. Where the common bile duct from the liver and the main pancreatic duct both dump in here. Now, first year I was teaching, and I hadn't seen this guy. I need to track this guy down. About one of my early years teaching, I was teaching an art class at DeSoto, and I had a student whose mother was in the hospital the whole year. She tore this sphincter right here, and that's bad news, okay? And so she had to stay in the hospital almost 6 months to get this thing to heal. One of my coworkers had liver problems, and they put a stent in here. So they can actually put, like they do in the coronary blood vessels, stents to keep the blood vessels open. They can put a stent in here to keep this duct open, because you would get very sick if the bile builds up and if your pancreatic juices don't drain. And y'all all know this is one of the worst types of cancer to get. And I don't have a good answer other than probably it's already spread everywhere in your body before you discover, you have it. Because all the pancreas does is make those hormones, insulin and glucagon, so you can have a diabetic problem and all these enzymes, and you're okay without all of them working right. So this thing can spread before you know you're real sick. Is my take on that one. But interesting little organ here located under the stomach. We'll see it. Well, we would have saw it in the cat. It makes a good test question on the cat filing lab. Well, I'm sure we'll show it to y'all in the cat videos that we're making for lab. But very, very interesting organ here, right here, and how that all works together here. Okay, so there it is. The bicarbonate juices in the pancreas help neutralize the acid from the stomach. You can get an ulcer in your small intestine. And look, enzymes from the pancreas break down sugars, carbohydrates, proteins, lipids, and even DNA. Remember me telling you about the drug for cystic fibrosis? It actually comes from human enzymes to break down DNA. We're bioengineered. So they actually spray enzymes down into the cystic fibrosis patients to break up the DNA, which makes up the mucus that causes them to cough all the time. Also, cholecystokinin, another hormone here, plays a big role here. And secretin. These are hormones made by the pancreas, and they will go and affect the entire digestive system. Okay, then the liver, which we know has a huge function in processing the food. Okay, let's take a look at it. It is made out of these structures called lobules. Letting the pictures catch up. Gallbladder under it. Now, somebody always asks me, why did we remove the gallbladder? Well, you can get crystallized bile pigments that form big old, almost like can be rocks or like real crystals, but it also a lot of times will be just real thick, like a toothpaste, and it will clog this up. So one of the theories is that we cut this out, we remove it, and you're fine having your bile go directly to the small intestine. Now, the theory on that is why we got a gallbladder. Well, back in the old days, you didn't get meat very often. And when you did, think about it, maybe 10,000 years ago, if we killed a woolly mammoth, Oakley and killed a woolly mammoth, and we're going to all eat it, right? We ain't got no refrigerator, we got no freezer. We're going to what? Gorge ourselves on protein. And so the thought is we always stored bile and had a bunch of it. So when we got a chance to eat meat, we ate a lot of it. Okay, so gorging is part of our history. But since we have so much meat in our diet today, you're okay having this removed and just let the bile fall straight in. So this doesn't seem to be a real problem not having this storage bag since we eat so much protein. But our ancestors probably didn't get protein very often. And so they had a gallbladder to store a bunch of this bile to break down that fat. That's the theory anyway, but we do know that we remove it a lot. If anybody had gallbladder problems, I haven't yet, but my mother had hers removed, and so a lot of my friends have had it removed. Okay, look at the lobules. These are pretty wild. Let me show you what it looks like inside. This thing would catch up with me. Come on, I love how, there we go. So here's what the liver looks like under a microscope slide. And what these lobules are is, look, the blood is coming in through the hepatic portal vein right here, hepatic portal artery. Let me get my story straight here. So the blood comes in this hepatic artery. It squeezes through, and as it goes into this big one in the middle, all the pancreatic cells process the nutrients out of the blood. While this is going on, bile is being made and stored in these green tubes that are going to go to the gallbladder. So you've got blood coming in, being processed, being carried out, being dumped out this central vein into the hepatic veins that then dump into the vena cava to the heart. But all this processing, so here's some of the things the liver does. It stores food, sugar in between meals. It makes all those plasma proteins that get put in the blood, stores vitamins, converts proteins, sugars, and fats into proteins, sugars, and fats, does all that kind of conversion. It's your detox center. It detoxifies all that alcohol you had last night off of drinking or whatever. And another great question is, why do people have to take their medicines every day? Because your liver don't know the difference between tequila from last night or your high blood pressure medicine you got to have. So the liver breaks down, detoxifies all drugs in the body. And so now you can see why if Tylenol poison is so bad, it would just kill the liver. So you want to enforce alcoholics have liver problems, right? And one of the first times of somebody had liver failure is if they develop jaundice. Jaundice is conditioned when babies' liver not properly working and they turn green, right? And so that's the bilirubin, biliverdin building up in the blood due to the liver not being able to process it out. So all that bilirubin and biliverdin is collected out, and bile is a way to get rid of the bilirubin and biliverdin. So so in other words, we throw that into the bile. Bile is going to go to the stomach, to the small intestine, large intestine, colon, porcelain God, out the body. So that's the way your liver gets rid of these waste products. So the liver kind of uses bile, which its function is to break down fat, but also get rid of these bile pigments out of the blood, which is kind of cool. She's going to talk about all that. So you can talks about making bile, absorbing lipids, breaking down food, pancreatic salts there, talking about all that. Bile itself has cholesterol and waste products, including bilirubin and biliverdin. There it is, which is the breakdown product of red blood cells. So it filters it out. So liver failure. It's a nutrient metabolism, detoxifies, and excretes things through the bile. So it's a very multitasking organ, huge, important. Gallbladder stores the bile. We've already talked about gallstones. There it is, pull back a little bit. They can do this orthoscopically now, but sometimes they have to cut you open like a major abdominal cavity surgery to get this out. Kind of a weird one to kind of give y'all a crazy story. One of my coworkers about 15 years ago in another department had this removed during Christmas, and she had it done orthoscopically. It started hurting about a week later. They rushed her back, and then they finally did an exploratory surgery. She had a birth defect and had 2 common bile ducts, and they tore one, and she had poured bile all over her abdomen for a week, and it killed her. She died about 3 days later. Absolutely destroyed a group of my friends in that division. It was so hard for them to go back to work, and she was like 50 years old, very young lady, and died of that. Very rare, having 2 bile ducts, so they just didn't see the other one and tore it as they pulled the gallbladder out. There's the gallstones, pretty wild. All right, and then she's going to go back and talk about all these hormones interactions. I know you know she loves that. But this just shows you how that cholecystokinin and secretin and all these hormones play a huge role in controlling digestion. And here is another summary of it all, looking at it from the digestion hormones, where they're made, and what the liver and gallbladder does. That's another good little summary one to look over. I thought this is pretty fun one too. She wrote, why do people want to do detox when you already have a detox organ, and that's the liver? Your liver is your detox organ. You don't need to go get these duct tape on the bottom of your feet to pull toxins out. That ain't happening. Okay, the rest of the chapter here is just looking at specifically how things are digested. If you remember, she walks through how the different organic compounds are broken down. Let me let it catch up here. Long story short, I'm not going to read all these off, but basically sugars, proteins, and nucleic acid absorbed into the capillary beds of the lacteal, of the capillary beds in the villi. But the lacteal is the lymphatic capillary, and that's where fats are absorbed. So fats are absorbed into the lymphatic system, and the reason is they're bigger, and the holes in the lacteal are bigger than the holes in the capillary bed. Now remember, we had a test question on that capillary exchange that y'all all hated, remember? So here it is showing sugars, how they're being broken into in the bloodstream. Okay. I'm sorry, I've got to get PowerPoint working. I'll try to work on that today. The talk goes back over how hydrochloric acid and pepsinogen all work. She reviews a lot here on the hormone function. She goes over proteins, the same thing. I'm not going to go through all that to you. I think y'all have heard enough of me today. I would like to show you if this thing would speed up just a little bit. See, I didn't get quite as dizzy, but I'm not doing 3 of these back to back. I got dizzy last week. Here we go. Here is the breakdown of fats into these fatty acids and glycerols, and they're absorbed into the lacteal. Here we go. They get absorbed, they get put into little cell membranes called chylomicrons. And I don't know why it did that, guys. It's irritating the bejeebies out of me. Somebody trying to bump in here? I have somebody, no, I don't know why the crap is doing that, but it's really irritating the crap out of me. Hold on. There's some checks that I have in here. That's not what I wanted. I was going to download. I'm just going to download it next time from the PowerPoint because this thing is wanting to throw out for some reason. Don't know why. There it is. I have no idea why I did that. And they're showing the lacteals, taking them in and putting them into the, see that these chylomicrons carry the fats to the liver where they're processed. So here's a summary of how we break down all the different. Ain't it funny how we make a big circle here? We come back to sugars, proteins, fats, and nucleic acids again. Now we don't get energy out of the DNA, but we can use it to make our own DNA, and we also tinkle some of that out as uric acid, if y'all remember us talking about that. Uric acid is one of the components of urine. Actually, we haven't covered that yet, so that's coming up. Sorry. Kidneys are the next chapter, or did we cover it already? No, that's coming up chapter 24, so we'll get that later. Here are, look at these enzymes. These are digestive enzymes, amylase, pancreatic amylase. All these are made in the pancreas. And then look, well, there they are, pancreatic. And anyway, break down sugars, proteins, fats, and then there's the one that breaks down nucleic acid. Most of them are made by the pancreas. Nice little summary. Okay. Talks about, look at that, 9 liters of water enter the small intestine each day. Only 0.1 liter leaves in our feces. So a lot of reabsorption of water is the main thing going in there, and anything else we might need, electrolytes. Okay, then she's going to talk about vitamins. Their vitamins come in 2 types, water soluble and fat soluble vitamins. Okay, I forgot they were in this chapter. Here we go, hang on. Let me pull the table up here. Actually, they're going to list them in the next chapter. So they're actually going to list vitamins in the next chapter. All right. Did that help a little bit? Y'all feel like that was good? Okay. I don't mind doing that. I'll try to get it. I'll get it to where y'all can go back over it. But I think that's a pretty good idea. And I think I hit a lot of the terms, especially I think Oakley was asking. I appreciate her. And all of y'all, thank y'all for coming today. But actually, I'm finally make short answers out of what we talked about on here more than anything, okay? So if y'all watch over this, you'll probably get almost all the short answer questions out of this, okay? For this chapter. I may try to do tomorrow. It's a little bit early. Is 9 o'clock okay with y'all? Get a little bit earlier? And I'm going to tell y'all guys, I really hate that we're not in person because I think I would really like to walk you through metabolism, and I'm probably not going to. I'm going to just walk you through it one time, and don't get frustrated. I'm not going to make you write all that back to me like I would do in a regular year. It's just too much because of the medium we got to do it in. But it's one of my favorite topics, and I don't think it does it justice with me not being able to draw it on the board for y'all. So I'm going to do my best tomorrow. But chapter 23, the big thing in here as far as points, I'm going to have multiple choice on vitamins and minerals, and there's like 20 vitamins, and there's like, 15 vitamins and like 20 minerals you need to have in your body, and I'll just match them to their function mainly. What do they do? What are they used for? So y'all can start looking at that. I do think this chapter 22 is very easy, but I would go ahead and start looking over 23, and we'll spend. We may have to do 2 Zoom. We have to do. Whose babies is that? Not gonna show us a little baby now. Come on now. I showed you my dogs in here hollering. Okay, everybody okay? Any of y'all have a question before we call it? Anybody have a question? Y'all got to talk to me, man. Hey, Mary. Anybody got a question?
No.
Did that help a little bit? Because if y'all think that's worth doing, we'll do that for the rest of the way out. Do y'all think that's good?
Yeah, that helped a lot because it's easier to have like you break it down instead of us just trying to go in and try to scramble to learn. You know what I mean? Like scramble to learn what we may or may not need.
Okay.
I probably wasn't going to read all 245 pages of this. So
no, I wouldn't either. I mean, she's overkill on these PowerPoints. I hope that I just been too lazy to redo them. I should have redo them myself, but I ain't got time to go back. I mean, it basically gives you more than you need, but it's also probably as good as reading a book if you just flip through these,
Yeah.
It's pretty much a rewrite of the book.
So I took notes from today, so I'm just going to study those. So.
Well, look, here's what we'll do. Let's do it again tomorrow morning, do the 23. Get my chapter straight. And then if we need to, I don't mind coming back on late tomorrow night and we can talk about in general, okay? Because by then I'll have the test. I've got to work on the test this afternoon. But this helped me. It made me think about all the short answer questions I like what is bile? I think that's a pretty cool one. You know, and I do a lot of just simple stuff like what does the large intestine do? That's one of my questions on my test if we were in person. So it does what? Sucks water out of the feces, right? Controls the water.
Handles fecal matter.
Yes. Okay. Hey, thank y'all this morning. I'm sorry that we couldn't get everybody. Sorry that I didn't send it out last night. I've been running crazy, man. I won't even tell y'all how crazy things are. But I've got about 8 teachers in my 22 that never do online. So this is like, it's where they literally are having a nerve breakdown because they didn't sign up to do this. I know y'all didn't either, but at least most of y'all have had an online class, right?
Yes, sir.
These guys have never. I had one of them hadn't even been using Canvas, or 2 that wasn't putting grades in Canvas very well. So anyway, thank y'all, Mary. If y'all have any question, email me. I'll do a Zoom anytime. I'm serious. I'm a night owl. I'll do one tomorrow night, 11 o'clock. After everybody's home, we can get back in here and y'all can let Oakley ask me some questions. And Gabby ain't scared to ask questions. I know Mary will too. You ladies can ask me some questions. I won't be ugly. I'll just say no comment. That means it's probably on the test or something, right?
I just think this definitely helped just kind of to guide us on what we really need to know for the test.
We'll just do it the rest of the way out. We ain't got many of those. And honestly, make sure you understand. Once we get through both of these 2 chapters are important, but on that final chapter 25 is very. I literally got 20 minutes. All I got on that. I could talk 3 hours on digestion systems. I really cut a lot of that down. And then on the final reproductive chapter, y'all know that's my favorite chapter. That's coolest chapter in the book. Well, we probably could talk about that for a couple of hours, but I'm not going to do a lot of development. I don't do much development on it. Y'all have to take human growth development anyway. But I do like hereditary, and she doesn't do a super job on it. So we'll just go through those and speed through the slides if you want to. Appreciate y'all logging in where I can see y'all too, because I can tell if I was good, because I really need to see y'all tomorrow because this topic is very difficult. And if I look and Mary's hitting her head on the wall or Oakley's throwing up in a bag, I need to know that so I can go back over it. But I'm not gonna throw y'all the wolves, I promise. And so I think the way I'm doing the grades is I'm giving y'all a chance to pull it up, but I'm putting a big cushion where I'm not gonna have anybody fall from a B to a D. It's not gonna do that. It's not gonna do it. Okay. Cool.
Sounds good. Thank you.
No, thank y'all for coming today. And I'll put it, I'm going to try to post it for everybody else, especially today. This was really important. I thought it was good. All right. See y'all in the morning. Look, I took a bath and shaved this morning for y'all, man. I got to get a haircut. Look at that. Woo. All right. See y'all.
Yeah.
Almost got it in 40 minutes. The whole chapter. They really appreciate that. So that made me feel better. I need to do that for my majors class. I think I got them in better shape. I got these automatic quizzes they can't see on or inside the homework. I'm just prepared to let them have what they got. Oh, by the way, market rally, since I sold those stocks. Okay. The day I sold, I should have went all in. We'll walk another walk. I just need to get that. Let me send my homework stuff in. Well, the internet's still working.